Today, from the American Tobacco campus in downtown Durham, North Carolina, we're going to get the shot with the Sony ZV-E1 and the Sony FE16-35G PZ f4. That's a lot to say. I'm going to take it around and see how it does for both photos and video. All the photos and all the video you see will be shot with this combination. Let's go. Okay, we're going to start out here with a shot of the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. I'm going to show you the raw file, which you're seeing here. Also the JPEG, just so you can see some things like distortion. So this is 16 millimeters. You can see the info here. And then the JPEG corrects for it, so you can see there's some distortion there. We'll see more kind of shots that might highlight whatever distortion it is, but this is just a cool little guy from the Mellow Mushroom. We're in at 300% here, so this was shot at 16 millimeters. It says 16 and a half, it was 16. ISO 200. You can see the brick wall here. That's some distortion, I would say. And this is how Lightroom kind of correct, not Lightroom actually, this is the JPEG, so this is how the camera corrects it. Another shot from the Mellow Mushroom, but this is a raw file, so nothing's been done to it. We can just hit it with a quick auto here and you can see great colors. I mean, the ZV-E1 sensor is known. This lens, it's been out for a year or so. It's pretty known. These are 12 megapixel stills, so maybe not your first choice as a camera, but if you happen to be out like I was and shooting some video, really not bad as far as the camera capabilities go, other than there's no EVF. And this is a shot that I get all the time, American Tobacco, the raw file. And then here is the JPEG, so you can see the distortion a little bit in the corners. This is f4, so you can see there's a little bit of a vignette, but really not bad at all. And this is one I do for dynamic range. You can see this Durham sign is in deep shadow, and we've got some pretty big highlights there, so let's see what it does. And we can actually even bring those shadows up a bit more, bring those highlights down. So that's pretty impressive. The dynamic range, again, this is a known sensor, so here is the JPEG. And then just a shot to show how clear it is. Again, this is the raw file, no processing. And this is at 3200. I'll do some shots at higher ISOs and walk through the ISO range as well, but so there's no noise reduction here. You can see at 3200, yeah, there's a little bit of grain. We'll see more of this again. And so here's the JPEG was cleaned up with noise reduction. And Wicked, the play was actually going on at the DPAC, the Durham Performing Arts Center, while I was there, so it was a little more crowded than normal. So here are the obligatory brick wall shots. This is just to show you the range, and again it's reporting 16.5, not sure why, but set to 16 millimeters. So again, here is the raw file and the JPEG, and you can see it does correct some distortion, but let's just go through at 16 millimeters, and then this is 20 millimeters, 25 millimeters, roughly, 30 or 31 millimeters, and then 35. So we'll go from 16, as wide as it goes, to 35. So you can see it's a pretty good range. These were all shot, it's roughly the same ISO, all shot at f4. Here's my buddy Bert. I'll show you the range again here. So this is 16 millimeters, and we're zoomed into 300%. So this is, if we go to 100%, but even more impressive at 300%, you can still see it's pretty clear. So that is at 16 millimeters, and then 25, and then 35. Again, everything looks good, even at 300%. So this is Bert's little cabin that they have there. Bert's Bees is based in Durham at American Tobacco campus. So this is another one that I like to do for dynamic range, especially on a sunny day. So this is, again, you can bring up those shadows. pretty good dynamic range. You can see the distortion here though at 16 millimeters, so here's the raw file and there's the JPEG. That particular shot presents some pretty significant distortion there. And then just a shot, this one is, let me reset that one. Just a raw shot here, again another one to show you the capabilities of the dynamic range, so pretty impressive. Alright, I'm kind of walking through the ISO ranges here, so just a shot of a little waterfall that they have here, and this is at ISO 6400. The raw file, you can see that there's some grain there at 6400. You can see it here. Just to show you how it cleans up on the JPEG, you could do, you know, a better job or a different job anyway if you wanted to do this manually, but that is at 6400. And then this is 3200. So again, we're zoomed in at 300% here, but you can see the noise pattern there at 3200. This is 1600, fairly clean. 800 looks really nice. 400 even better. Oh, sorry, that's 640. 400. 200. So this is just again another shot of the tower, the smokestack and the water tower. This is the raw, and then this is the JPEG, which has been corrected. So again, you can see some distortion there, and yeah, I mean it's a wide angle lens. There's going to be some distortion. All right, kind of just wanted to show you the clarity again, and we'll focus on the words here as I go through the ISO range. So this is 200, 400, ISO 400, 500, 800. All still looks pretty clean. You can see a little bit of grain there. That's 640. Get them a little bit mixed up here. This is 1000. But again, that gives you an idea on the range. And this is just a random shot, the waterfall that we did the ISO test. The first ISO test is back here. Let's just reset that. And then you can see at 22 millimeters for this shot, there doesn't seem to be much distortion. A little bit of a vignette, but not terribly bad. And this is just the backside of the train, basically, raw file. Again, zooming in, you can see this is at ISO 125, 35 millimeters f4. So there's really not going to be any distortion here. And another one to kind of show the dynamic range. So you can see the before and after. We'll go through that one more time. So this is before. Highlight's pretty bright. The shadow's not too bad in this one, but you can see how it cleans up in the sky. And just another shot without the water tower behind it. But again, just hit it with a quick auto and very nice. So again, 12 megapixels for a lot of work, especially online work. I think 12 megapixels will be fine. The fact that there's no viewfinder makes it a little tough. So far, the shooting experience is, it seems okay, other than there's no EVF, so that's a big thing. On a bright day like today, it's kind of hard to see your shots, so I'm kind of ducking into the shade wherever I can. Got a few shots, a few nice shots. I'm actually doing this in reverse. I almost didn't make this trip because there was an event and they wanted to charge for parking, but I found a spot on the road, so I'm kind of walking and doing things in reverse that I normally do for these types of videos. But yeah, I mean, the video's rock solid. This is dynamic active and it's rock solid. I've done some other videos on it. I'll put them, post them up there. But basically, the video is solid. And we're going to see the photos. We'll go back into the studio after all this is done. We'll check out the photos and see how this does for a shooting experience. I'm going to go grab a few more of my favorite shots. Here's another dynamic range shot, so you can see the stack here. Deep shadow. Hit that again with a quick auto. You can tweak this and make it look better. I'm just kind of doing a quick auto for the sake of time, but pretty impressive dynamic range. So this is my absolute favorite spot down here. Get some pictures, I'll show you those. I'm going to take some pictures in a couple minutes, but just love this little nook. Not too many people know about it, that just walk right by it, kind of under the stairs, but you can see behind me, and I'll show you the photos of these quirky little murals that they have around here. So yeah, let's grab some shots of this and then we'll head on to the next one. Here's the shots of my favorite spot downtown, or lunch downtown, or downstairs as they call it. So this is at 16 millimeters. Here's the RAW, and there's a JPEG. So again, a little bit of distortion, but not terrible. And then I just like this kind of mural here too. So this is at 19 millimeters, ISO 1600. Looks pretty clean. And this is just a shot I like to get of the tower, the contrast between the blue and the white. And that's a unedited RAW, and then there it is with just a quick auto. And here's when I usually take a picture of the signs just to show the colors and the clarity. So the colors seem pretty accurate, and clearly they are. You know, the clarity is there, and the text is very sharp, and this lens is, you know, pretty good companion for both photo and video. Just a shot I normally take for CA to see if there's usually some deep contrast here, but it wasn't. I really don't see any CA. This is at f4. I didn't really expect to. There might be a little bit in some extreme situations, but CA seems pretty well controlled. And this is just a kind of where the rivers all come together. Just a cool little shot. Again, that's the RAW, and then there's the JPEG. It's warm out here today, probably 90 degrees or so, but I wandered around taking most of the shots that I want to take. Do a little walking with the camera to see. Exposure's going to be a little bit off, but this is what you can expect from the active dynamic stabilization. Standard stabilization works okay. Sorry for the exposure, but yeah, so I'm going to take a few more shots and then we're going to wrap up this look at the ZV-E1 with the 16 to 35 f4 G lens. Just a couple more here. This is the American Tobacco Tractor. Again, hit it with a quick auto. Looks good. And then here's one as I was kind of leaving. You can see the water tower there. And then these are the bike racks. So Durham is the Bowl City, home of the Durham Bowls, and this is the Bowl bike rack. Alright, so those are the shots that I wanted to show you. Alright, we're going to wrap this one up in front of the beautiful Durham Bulls Stadium. 7-time champions, minor league, beautiful stadium. If you're ever in Durham, definitely check it out. Well, hope you enjoyed that video. We walked around a little bit. We took video clips, some photos with the Sony ZV-E1 and the 16 to 35 millimeter f4 PZ lens, which is the new lens, newer. It's been around for about a year. If you enjoy these types of videos, please consider subscribing. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'll talk at you again in the next video. Get out there and have your photo gear fun, and thank you so much for watching.